I've been a financial advisor for 28 years now. I've spoken to hundreds of business owners, and I found one thing that seems to kill every business that doesn't prepare for it in advance. So today I want to tell you what that is, and I want to help you prepare for it so that you can keep more of your hard-earned dollars and actually start building true wealth outside of your business without gambling your family's future every single month, which is what I see a lot of business owners do. I remember when I thought I had everything dialed in. I was writing checks for $20,000 a month from my line of credit and dropping into my operating expense account. I didn't think twice. I was actually thinking I was doing pretty well. I had $1 million in revenue. I had a team of 5, org charts, roles and responsibilities for every single one of them. And things were fantastic. I had a beautiful office overlooking the Intercoastal. I'd walk in every day and man, look what I'm building. But then a really interesting thing happened. I went to Costa Rica to buy a house, a beach house, and 4-minute walk to the beach and my dream location. And I spent a day going through my QuickBooks and I realized I was bleeding out. Now granted, I didn't just wake up one day, go to the office in the virtual office environment I was in and say, I'm gonna pull up my QuickBooks and I'm gonna go through them. It was actually a lady who sat next to me in the executive office. She was a bookkeeper, she was an accountant, and she worked for nonprofit organizations. And so we got to talking about numbers, and I was like, I don't really take a look at my numbers much. My accountant sends them to me and I open it up and glance and tell myself I'm gonna look through them, but never really do. And her jaw dropped, she was in shock, and she literally made me open up my QuickBooks and start going through my numbers. And she showed me what the P&L was, she showed me what the balance sheet was, and she forced me to go through the numbers. And what I realized is I had about 7 months left before I was gonna be dead broke. I was gonna have to get rid of the business. Why? Because I couldn't keep making those $20,000 a month payments out of my HELOC to fund the business, and I had no idea that I was that close to running the ship aground. And you want to talk about shame. I've been a financial advisor for 28 years. I remember staring up at the wall, just gut-wrenching, just like if my wife only knew what I did or how bad of a situation I put us into. And at the same time, we're closing on a house in Costa Rica. What the hell am I doing? Like seriously, what the heck am I doing? And so the next day I went to work. And what I realized is that I'm not alone in this situation. Just yesterday, I was on a Zoom call with a business owner friend of mine, and he needs $80,000 a month just to pay his employees and cover his personal expenses each month. And he knows exactly what he needs to do to turn things around. To shift into more profitable services that he can offer. But the kicker is he can't make the change because it's going to take a $200,000 hit up front. So it's $200,000 he doesn't have. He doesn't have the cash. He doesn't have it in investments. He doesn't have it in a line of credit. He just simply doesn't have the $200,000 it's going to take for him to make the transition. He can see the plan, but he can't execute on it because the foundation is not there. That was me too. And what saved me was finally taking the radical steps, tearing my numbers and rebuilding completely, and just really looking at my cash flow and where it was heading and really starting to manage it accordingly, separating the business and the personal money, and starting to look at the business as paying myself first, making sure I had taxes put aside, and then using the rest as operating income to cover everything else and not compromising on it, making sure I got paid, making sure taxes got put aside, and then looking at the difference and saying, all right, here's what I have to run the business. Who do I need to fire? What do I need to get rid of? I got rid of the office. I got rid of 3 employees. I completely revamped everything. It was like, if looking from the outside, you'd have thought I was going crazy, going, what's he doing to the business? Oh my gosh. But I knew exactly what I was doing and why I was doing it, because for once I finally had an idea what was happening with my cash flow. And so within 7 months, I went from losing $20,000 a month to keeping 60 cents of every dollar of revenue I generated. I had some breathing room finally. I had control, and I finally felt protected, at least a little protected. I had to start paying that money back, which I have. But for the first time where I didn't write the check, there was a little confidence, and I didn't have to write a check, then I didn't have to write a check, then I didn't have to write a check. And so that gave me more and more confidence that what I was doing was actually working. And here's the lesson. Most businesses don't die because sales and marketing. They die because they're unprotected. There's no cash flow foundation. There's no protection against emergencies. One risk away from financial ruin. And the truth is, most business owners, your spouses, they don't even know the financial gambling that's going on behind the scenes. You're holding it all together, hoping the card clears at dinner. And you've been in that situation where you take your kids out and your kids bring their friends and they're ordering the lobster and the surf and turf dinners, and you're like looking at it going, how much? And you go to give your credit card at the end and you're like, poof, it cleared. But meanwhile, no one's actually knowing what you're thinking. And you knew it was going to clear, but you're wondering when it's not going to clear. And that's the point, is you're redlining the business, yet you're not really doing anything come Monday to solve the problem. You're just rolling it over and hoping that you can get another sale, you can get another new client, you can get some more revenue that's going to make it all go away. And I can tell you it's not going to happen. So I built the Cash Flow Academy. I built it for myself and then to share with others, because this problem, it's not going to fix itself. But if you put the energy into it and you finally create the business that gives you the freedom and the wealth and the peace of mind that you thought you already had, or that you would have by now, then you're going to have a much better outcome when you finally go through that and really start getting control of your numbers. And the reality is, if your wife knew the financial burden that you put them into, how close things really are, how much gambling goes on behind the scenes, they'd be shocked, they'd be disappointed, and you'd lose a lot of trust. They would lose a lot of trust in you. I've seen so many times where when the wife gets involved and she sees how poorly you've been doing it, running the business, it finally motivates you, because you have no choice, right? You've been exposed, and that exposure actually gives you the energy and the courage to start taking a look at things, because now you know that the queen knows what's happening and you don't have to let it get to that point. I built the academy to help so that it wouldn't get to that point. Thankfully, I had some running room when I found out. Thankfully, I had this lady who stepped in and helped me. But what I want you to do is build your cash flow foundation so that you can protect your business and stop gambling. So you can finally start creating the freedom and the peace of mind that you started the business for in the first place. Now, if you don't know where to start, here's what I suggest. First, subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button so more people find this content that might need it. Now, everything I share here is all about building your foundation and then growing true wealth. And second thing, join the free community. I'm going to start hosting Q&As in there and it's all focused about building the foundation so you can grow wealth with confidence. We focus a lot on cash flow. That's why it's called Cash Flow Academy. And I'll walk you through the exact steps, step by step, of what I did to turn the business around within 7 months. So thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you next week for more financial tips.